How do you feel when you hear all these sounds of spring? The birds chirping, woodpeckers. I know you can't smell it through the video, but smelling all the things coming back into life and things beginning to grow, it just smells so great, so aromatically pleasing. and feeling the warmer temperatures, it feels good. This feels like just a time of renewal, of things coming back to life, and it's just a beautiful time of year. Well, last week was a pretty busy week, and just like most days during the spring, gearing up for the main growing season here on the farm and gearing up for all kind of projects on the homestead. It's just a busy time of year. Last week we were working on this thing right here, this walk-in cooler. We still have some more work to do on it, but let me just kind of show you around on the inside. Right here is the first part of our cooler, and this part will be where we hold our things such as tomatoes, squash, peppers, things like that really like to be stored at a temperature between 55 and 70 degrees. So in here they'll be colder than what it will be outside, but they won't be as cold as our section here, which will be our main cooler, which will be kept around 35 to 40 degrees. And this will be where we store our greens and things just need to be kept cooler. So that'll be how our layout will be. We bought this cooler used, and in the previous layout they had, in the back section here was the freezer, because it came from a restaurant. It actually came from a Chick-fil-A, and for restaurants the freezer actually needs to be the biggest section, because they have all their meats and things that they need to keep frozen. And then they have their cooler section in the front, which is more of like a refrigerator. So that is how they had their layout. So we don't need a freezer, but we need basically a large refrigerator area, and then just a cool room. So I mentioned that there's a number of things that need to be done to get the walk-in cooler finished. A part of that list of things that need to be done is the electrical work finished, so that way we can actually connect it to power so that it works. So we had last week the electrical ran from our panel all the way up here to this building, which is our pump house. And in our pump house is the pump for our well, which supplies us with our water. But we weren't able to get the electrical work finished just because the building here inside is just so messy from our stuff, because we also use it for storage, that our electrician was not able to finish the work. So we're gonna have to clean this up so that way he can do so. Also, this area right here is our wash and pack station. We still need to clean it up as well. So we just keep having to do spring cleaning around here on the farm. So that way things look better, you work more efficiently, and it's just better all around. And it's just a good feng shui that makes you feel good, and it's an environment that you can thrive in and then you feel good about. So we're gonna go ahead and knock that out. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start pulling things out of there and have the kids help me, so that way we can just get that area cleaned up. Here we go. All right, before we get started, I want to mention something. Today is a special day. Today is Josiah's birthday. So I guess I'm a mean dad. I'm putting him to work on his birthday. But later on today, we're gonna have a little bit of fun, aren't we? Yep. So everybody, tell Josiah happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Josiah.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, Tara.
So how old are you, Josiah? Are you 80 yet?
Nope, 7.
70?
70. 70.
Alrighty. So kids, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and start cleaning out the pump house, so that way Evan can come back and finish the electrical work. Can you help me out?
Yes, we can.
Man, you're strong. How'd you get so strong?
I don't know.
You don't know. As you can see, it's pretty messy in here. So it's definitely not, there's no feng shui going on here. There's not efficiency either. So my electrician was having to squeeze through here each time he was pulling his tools, and he was starting right here, and we kind of stopped right here. We're definitely gonna go ahead and make sure it's cleaner for him, and it just needs to be done anyways, because there's a lot of benefit to a kid with the feng shui, but there's actually something to that. Having an area that you can easily work in, and it brings peace. And even if you're just having an area where you're just relaxing in, whether it be your home or wherever you're at, having an area that is organized and brings peace and there's order to it. And I know we all have our different personalities into what that means exactly, but having an area that anybody could come in and it brings peace to them is really, there's a lot of benefit to that. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure we knock this out. One of the things that starts happening as you're cleaning up, it brings back memories, and you see things that you, especially when you're cleaning out a work area, seeing projects and things that you were doing before that maybe you forgot about and lost interest in. But one of the things that I'm seeing in here is our incubators. We've incubated eggs before and hatched chicks and ducklings, and we're not doing it this year. And just thinking about that makes me miss that, because that's one of the things I really enjoy about farming, is just seeing new life come into being. So maybe in the fall we can get back to that, but here's our incubators here that we're setting up some nice storage for.
Okay, so today we're working a lot, and today is a special day. It is my birthday today. So, I'm helping Daddy put stuff up.
I know for some of you, when you hear the term feng shui, it may turn you off because of the spiritualism and the religious themes that are involved that you may not agree with. However, I do feel like there are principles that can be beneficial to everybody that feng shui has, and actually many cultures have had throughout history. And there is a connection between the renewal and getting rid of the old and the unnecessary and the things that we shouldn't have in our life, both physically, mentally, and emotionally, and just all around helping us to be better individuals. Even the Bible talks about a Passover, unleavened bread season, where they were to get rid of leavened products. They would search their home and get rid of them, and for a certain time period, and then that would be symbolic of them getting rid of, and us getting rid of things in our life that we should not have. So it feels good to get rid of the stuff, the unnecessary junk and clutter, and clean up and get rid of dirt too. There is a renewal of coming into a new space and it being fresh and clean and orderly. And part of that was we're going to be putting some of these things in the fire that they had over there to get rid of and renew and purge. Alrighty, it's not perfect in here, but at least it is more organized than it was when we started, and we can at least move around more efficiently and easier, and Evan can come back and work on finishing our electrical work without having to trip over stuff. I I plan to at some point have a shed, like a shed strictly for my farm tools and a number of things that we had in here and have had in here in the past, but we're not there yet. We're still working on it. Also, the kids are working on just sorting out things, figuring out what's trash, what's going away, and what we may keep. And I do want to recommend and suggest that it is really good for kids to learn the ability to give stuff away, to let go. It's good for them as well. It can be hard. You want to try to keep everything, but you can't. Sometimes you just got to learn to let go. Isn't that right, Selah?
Yep.
You got to learn to let go. Yep. There's a time to keep and there's a time to
give away.
That's right. Throw away and give away. Some time ago, I had the opportunity to hear from Ben Hartman, who wrote the book on the lean farm. And he gave a number of lectures about that, his methods of running and operating a lean farm. And that is basically running a farm with just the basic tools that you need to run your farm, whatever that is, and shedding and getting rid of the excess, and what you have, keeping it organized and tidy and easy to access. And I am been thinking about those techniques and those themes more and more. And at first, when I started our homestead and our farm, it was like we just acquired whatever tools, whatever resources we could, thinking that we would eventually use them. But over time, you figure out what you're really going to use and what you're not, especially from the standpoint of tools. And I've been really trying to get rid of the excess, the junk, and just the things that we're really not using on our farm and I don't really plan to use. So that's something I'm thinking about and trying to implement more and more. We have to clean this area up here in the walk and pack station, but before we do that, there's still a couple items that I cleared out of the pump house here that I want to store up top. When we set up the walk-in cooler, there's a really neat entryway that I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to keep with setting up the walk-in cooler, but we were actually able to keep it and use it because it is a real neat entry point for being able to store things up top. And since we were able to keep it, I'm able to store this stuff here, up there, and then we can easily access it from a ladder here.
Here, Daddy, I'm gonna take this to the dumpster.
Okay. All right here I have my collapsible harvest bins. They need to be picked up and cleaned up. But these bins I use in the main market garden, harvest our greens and other produce and put them in here, and I use these to carry them up to the wash and pack station here. However, I won't be using these as much anymore with the walk-in cooler. I plan to use Rubbermaid totes or something similar, so that way when you harvest them, you put your crops in the Rubbermaid bins and you put the lid on them, stick them in the walk-in cooler, and you can come back and wash and package them later. These, with them not being sealed and they just have holes everywhere, you won't be able to stick them directly into the walk-in cooler. So I'll be using them more as just for transport, but they won't be used for storage. So let's just go ahead and stack them, collapse them, and stack them. As I'm stacking these baskets right here, I see a TV that was intended to be used as when we're harvesting to listen to sports or something like that, but didn't last long and it's just been sitting there, so it needs to go. And right here is a pack and play that we used for Micah when we were having him outside with us, just to keep him contained while we were doing different things around the farm. But it's been out here for a long time. It's not very clean anymore. It's time to go. So as you can see here, this has been a collection of egg cartons, stuff, toys. So these aren't needed for up here, so we need to clear this up, clean it up, get it out of here. We reuse a lot of these paper bags for our CSA customers. They're really easy to put their produce in and then deliver it to them. So I really like them. And as we're trashing things and getting rid of things right now, it's really bothering me the amount of non-compostable items that we're having to deal with. I really like to deal with things that break down. I really can't stand the idea of things just sitting in the landfill. So it's making me think that I really want to go and gradually have more and more items that just can be biodegradable and easily broken down. So just something to think about. Even maybe you can think about it around your place as well. I just can't stand the idea of thinking of something that I'm having to trash just sitting down somewhere in the landfill. It really bothers me. So I'm going to have a goal of making sure we can gradually make that happen. Because even with these bags right here, they can be composted, they can be burned. So not having to worry about items like that sitting in a landfill makes me feel good. Go ahead and spray right there, Micah. Spray it. Yep, back up. Yep. Selah can wipe it. Good job. And you can never have enough egg cartons. The cardboard ones aren't my favorite, but at least they are biodegradable. Can't say that I'm a huge fan of these styrofoam ones, but there are the plastic ones that I really like. They're not biodegradable, but at least they're recyclable. So we definitely want to make sure we have enough of these with all the chickens and ducks that we have here on the farm. You may be wondering why we have a washing machine up here. Well, it's not to wash the produce. We actually plan to convert this wash machine into a dryer. Yep, the spinning mechanism or the spinning aspect of a wash machine can actually be used in conversion for salad greens, spin dry. So we plan to do that here pretty soon. So stay tuned. While I was working on cleaning up, Lacie was working with her dad in moving the millstone, because it was an area that we thought it was going to be a good spot for it long term, but come to find out it wasn't working with the flow of working around in our greenhouse. So we moved it into an area that is pretty much symmetrical with the greenhouse. It's even on both sides, and we are just going to try to grow some other neat things around it and just use it as a centerpiece. So I'm gonna actually ask her to move some more. Thanks for giving me a hand.
You're welcome.
If you could move some more of those other items like the blocks and things like that are in the garden, just so things can look neater and we can have that renewal around here. Spider-Man. Do it again, what'd you say? Yeah, she's in there. In the skid steer. Alrighty, so we have pretty much cleaned up everything we're going to clean up and declutter for right now. And today is over with, but throughout this vlog I've talked about renewal and going into a new year, and I also mentioned that today is Josiah's birthday and he is going into a new year of life. And one of his requests for his birthday today was to have pizza. We don't always have pizza, but he said, I really want to have some pizza. So tonight, for a special dinner for Josiah, we're having pizza. Mike is too. And we're also having some salad from the garden and some microgreens to put on the salad. So that's it for this vlog. Let us know what you are looking forward to during this new season of growth and development, and maybe some of the goals that you have for yourself and things that you're looking to shed off and just be renewed. And also, feel free to wish Josiah happy birthday. That's it for today, and we'll see you next time. Grow on.
Grow on. Grow on. Grow on.
So you're looking for the secret that got me here. Some kind of magic ingredient that takes you there. Well,